Welcome or welcome back. This is the Daily Dharma. My name's Dina. Thank you so much for joining today. Let's go ahead and sync up our energies. Let's take a big breath in all together. And as we release, let any fears, anxieties, worries, or dramas pass through the smoke, cleansing, purifying your energies, and releasing any of that low vibe energy that's been blocking our process. So before we get started with the cards, the shuffling, we're going to go over a few cards here. We've got them laid out from the Oracle deck. This is the mixed deck, 3 Alana Fairchild decks. We've got Kelly Kuan and the new Medicine Heart deck. And so we have a few from each of the decks. The first two came out together. We've got Ma'at, very powerful card with Dance of the Butterfly Queen, number 30 and number 5. And before I forget to say so, we've got a lot of number synchronicities coming through. Yesterday in the first Daily Dharma, the Daily Dharma from yesterday, we had 40, 41, 42, 43, and 2 44s. And then we had a couple sequential numbers in the 30s. And I've noticed that today we do have some number synchronicities. So keep your eyes and ears open for those as we go through the cards, if that's something that you follow. So these two coming out together, Dance of the Butterfly Queen is about evolution. It's going from caterpillar phase into butterfly phase, and then allowing that gentle process of release to uplift you and releasing what no longer serves. So it also has a bit to do in, as I read it today, with the theory of the chaos theory, the butterfly effect, how things that we do here in this time and space, in our present moment, we may think is just nonsense or no big deal. But if you follow the chaos theory, then what we do here, the flap of a butterfly's wings, for instance, can displace enough, that little bit of space around the butterfly's wings. It pushes that wind, and exponentially all around the world, that same push is pushing everything else along, just like putting your thumb over the garden hose and it squirts further. It's like, as we do any type of emotion, it accelerates some type of process. And so our evolutionary leveling up is something that we're focused on in this reading. So one other thing, I wanted to give you guys a close-up image, or look at this image on the Ma'at card. Look at the way they've chosen to draw her face, particularly the streaks and the dots above the eyebrows. It's reminding me of a moth or a butterfly. You know how they have the different segments within the wings, that they have like little black outlines, and then the color is in between. And then on a moth, there are many different types of moths that will look like an eye or will have dots to be some type of a decoy. And I'm seeing this painted on her face. And so Ma'at is the main thing I am being called to say about the Ma'at energy is that she is the goddess that oversees the transition between life and death. And it's said that she weighs the heart of the individual that's passing against a feather. And if the feather is lighter than the heart, then there's basically unresolved karma, versus if it's lighter than the feather, then it's like you get to pass go and go into the afterlife unhampered. And so with these two coming out together, there's a lot of evolutionary shifts and changes and release happening. And that release, again, is helping us in some way to unburden the heart. And that's a theme that's kind of been working its way through the readings. The next card is an interesting one, number 25, Kamala Devi. And I'll read this one for us, but because of the name and because of the state of affairs in the US right now, I can absolutely not overlook the fact that it's Kamala. And so we'll read that to see what it says, but it's talking about levels of victory. So let's get back to that one. And then I'll note that all of these last ones here came out together. Kamala, Durga Kalika, Bahadra Kali, and Reveal the Peacock Beauty. So Durga Kalika talks about the divine feminine's ability to take back her power from something and to overcome darkness in perhaps unexpected ways. And it's when evil seems to have gotten the upper hand that Durga Kalika comes back and takes the helm and starts moving the energy in a new way. So Bahadra is one of the cards. I always see this as badass. And in the cards, it talks about that it needs to be this gentle energy. And so I also often see that there's some cobra snake energy up there on the crown, talking about our ability to surpass the limitations of this realm when we're doing our sacred work. I'll just leave it at that. And so it has a lot to do with, because of our perception of everything that is, it's our ability to see beyond this present moment, which becomes more important with that Durga Kalika. It's like understanding that things are perhaps in right order and all of that business. And Reveal the Peacock Beauty comes through with this idea that there's been aspects of ourself that has been hidden, or perhaps some type of activation is going on now that is activating some latent DNA or a latent aspect of our personality coming to the forefront because of these situations, or perhaps coming to the forefront in someone else's situation. So just lastly, I was shuffling this deck and Alchemy flipped in the deck. We'll get back to this one shortly. Oh, beautiful. Delight on the bottom of the deck. Delight, Conception, Cosmic Flower. Yeah, there's some type of development, evolution, and growth coming in. Something very, a big happy change. So I wanted to, as promised, read the Kamala Devi card. This says, we witness her beauty and all struggle melts into grace upon a grateful sigh. The heart softens into her protection and radiates peace. Her presence transforms frustration into inspiration, fatigue into replenishment, and overactivity into effortless attraction. She's the golden pathway of divine manifestation and peaceful contentment. She empowers your heart to receive with the same generosity, openness, and grace that you express when you give freely and joyfully. Abundant divine blessings are upon you. So she is the 10th of the wisdom goddesses here. And it says that her presence reminds us to not make things more difficult than they need to be. So this can be happening in our lives in multiple different ways, but you know, it's giving in the moment the overactive mind, the overactive bustling around, when it's like, for instance, I'm having the image of every once in a while when I go to do something like cleaning out a closet or something that's been like the junk drawer. Let's say it's a junk drawer. Everybody has one of those just about, right? And then as you take things out, then it's like, oh, well, this belongs here, this belongs there. And you could make these piles. You could be taking it across the house and putting it here, putting it there, different things. And then you might get distracted. And then all of a sudden you're going over here and doing something else. And when I get into modes like that, I've noticed that everything gets kind of torn apart and everything is like laid out and it's a big fat mess. And it looks like I've actually made a bigger mess than it was at the beginning. But it's like sometimes you have to take everything out and then put it back in a way that makes sense to reorder it to, like for instance, I'm seeing this one drawer that I have where all the spoons need to nest in just such a way, because even if they turn the other direction, then the drawer won't shut. And I was getting that image yesterday with the piggy bank where the coin won't come out the slot because there's just, it fits, but not the way it's oriented. And so, yeah, it's talking about overactivity, and it's like when we spin our wheels, or like when I used to have an office job, it was like sometimes like a price change. Oh my gosh, I had to get all this information together, and then I had to take all that information and apply it to all of these different spreadsheets and customers. Everybody had their own rules, and it's like sometimes it was like there was so much chaos energy, and it would become so overwhelming that it was important sometimes to just kind of push back on that, push away from that moment and take a breather. And I think that that's what we're doing, is instead of just continuing to go, 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 it's important to sit back and allow for this release and this leveling up and this evolutionary shift in our energy. And so for me personally, I'm kind of feeling that I've already maybe just experienced this. So maybe this is something that you're experiencing now, where it's like, I've been real tired. And then because I gave myself the time and space to process whatever was being demanded, to integrate those lessons. And now today I had all this energy and I went out and I got, oh my gosh, I lost track of how many plants I put in the ground. I've been outside for all day and it's pretty cold outside. It's snowy and frozen. But so, yeah, getting back to you, not to hijack your reading here. So it says Kamala Devi holds the wealth generating, life force protecting qualities of preservation and cultivation. If we're used to always giving out, even if we receive a lot, but consistently overshare or leak our energies, she teaches us that loving art of self-valuing. This is not selfishness, but self-care. It's a good way to show your self-respect, show respect to yourself, and it's an energetic broadcast, it says, that repels lower level energies, giving us the firmness of mind to set boundaries accordingly, while also attracting opportunities and pathways for expansion. So by sharing the goodness that is present, then every being gains spiritual benefit. So this speaks of a divine harvest of success and beauty, created and protected, of longevity and peace. So there's that. And the other one I wanted to share with you is this Durga Kalika. It says that this one right here, right, has quite a deathly aspect to it, like something coming to a firm and final closure here. So this one says that she's fierce divine justice, unyielding resolution in favor of the light. She's every method and all means necessary to ensure success for the soul. She is the unexpected victory, arising at the very moment when all seems lost, transforming tragedy into triumph. She's our spiritual solar sun. and our light and our ever radiant reminder that from the darkest night a new dawn shall always rise. Dare to trust more in your faith than your fear. For every problem that can arise, there are many more divine solutions unfolding even now. So isn't that beautiful right there? And so Bahadra the gentle comes next to say, the unexpected victory is on its way. We need to just relax and be gentle with ourselves and not overly stress ourselves or continue following every piece of news that comes forward, because news can be very triggering and stressful in itself. And so placing our energies towards whether it's solutions or something that brings some kind of peace or personal development or getting back in line with your personal goals and your personal evolution here is going to help you release what you can't necessarily personally control and allow those factors to be resolved without your intervention here. So again, let's take out alchemy here. So there's some alchemical change going on in the body here, a delightful alchemical change. And here we've got soul time. Yeah, I feel like this upgrade was necessary. I'm seeing in this Beyond Lemuria deck right here, there's a card that was coming out on the pre-shuffle, something about the crystal codes, and it was talking about sacred memory, something activating again with the latent DNA and activation of something that comes, an evolutionary change that comes through this release. Okay, well, that's quite a bit. Third eye chakra, interesting. So absolutely, that's bringing up this Kalika, or excuse me, Durga Kalika. Third eye chakra, earth, integration, that number 30 again with integration, and Gaia. So Gaia and earth coming together is always significant to me. And so it's talking about how our evolutionary shifts right now are not only mirrored, but perhaps even created by the earth. It's like when you see animals migrating, it's like the change of the seasons triggers their instincts to then say, okay, it's cold, now it's the time that we migrate. And so then they just take off. And so it's kind of giving that, where there's a seasonal shift that then there's a change in the earth and the way that we are psychically, intuitively understanding what needs to be integrated and how to move forward. And yeah, whether it's time, space, personal relationships, there's something shifting and changing. And so as you're upgrading your alchemy, it's important to take this time to yourself to rest, reflect, and integrate all of these intuitive hits that are coming through. It's like listening to the elementals, listening to the music of the spheres, perhaps even. So, all right. Beautiful energy here. Discernment was a little bit kicked off differently and to the side. I'll go ahead and put this here. Using our intuition to choose something here. It's like being able to understand what is demanded of us in the moment, understanding what deserves our attention and what feels good and what feels bad. And even despite the way it feels, if something is productive, it's like sometimes it can feel a little bit stressful on the body when we work out, but we know that in a minute here, it's going to be that endorphin release. In a month here, in consistent effort, it's going to generate some healthy detox energies and some muscle building and healthy shifts in our lives. So next we've got sacral chakra, divine masculine, universal love, and remembrance. So these three came out yesterday's reading, and so it's interesting that they come out again. So we'll put sacral chakra below alchemy, divine masculine below soul time, and universal love here below discernment. And then remembrance at the end. So this remembrance card is, again, reminding me about that crystal energy. Healing is under the Beyond Lemuria deck. So the alchemy of the sacral chakra, it talks quite a bit about releasing the things that block us from our belongingness, such as guilt or shame or attachment energy even. It's the emotional waters. And so getting to the core of any type of anomaly that might be coming up in the sacral region might look like dealing with some types of belongingness, rejection, abandonment issues, or ability to digest and to integrate energies here. Yeah. And to understand that how to respect our body, how to respect our limitations, how to surpass our limitations when it's appropriate. Then with soul time and the divine masculine, it's like how we choose to use our downtime, how we choose to do our self-care is also evidence of, are we choosing and discerning what's healthy for us? I just saw 2121. Divine masculine is 22, by the way. 2244. Anyways, taking the time to use our meditations or our personal time in conjunction with things that are dual purpose, such as exercise. You know, it detoxes the body, it pumps the lymph through the system, it develops musculature, and it creates health in all of these different things, right? But anything can go too far. And so it's also like when I'm doing things such as gardening or working out, I often enjoy utilizing motion and movement and things that I enjoy, like gardening, for instance, is also exercise. I just saw 2222 there. Gardening is also exercise. But then while I'm gardening and exercising, I'm also creating beautiful aesthetics around the area that I'm cultivating. I'm working towards a harvest, which we had up here for a later time. And I'm perhaps also able to utilize that energy to process and push and release energies. It's like doing things with intention. Whether I'm seeing also like there's this, I think it's a Wiccan thing where you can clean the energy out by utilizing your broom and just kind of sweeping just a little bit above the floor and just sweeping that energy towards the door. I'm seeing people doing all kinds of different energetic things, whether that's to protect your own beingness, protect your loved ones, your place, your home, your property, your belongings. It's kind of like, okay, Harry Potter's coming forward with this Horcrux type of thing, which had a negative connotation where the bad guy is imbuing it with portions of his soul so that if ever he were taken out, then portions of him would be able to be around in these secret places and he wouldn't be able to be eliminated effectively. And taking that and putting it into the positive, it's like, you know, we can also, when we are cooking a meal, for instance, we're putting that intention into the recipe. And we can utilize different herbs for their medicinal qualities, for their detox capacity, for their warming or whatever health benefits in some type of a way or otherwise. And so I think that there's some element of, now I'm seeing 2424. So there's a lot of doubles. 24 is the earth card here. And so it's like this ability to do things with intention and to also walk away from things with intention. Like, I am going to leave my worries at the beginning of every reading, right? And we're going to let them pass through the smoke. We're going to let the universe handle that business for us, because worrying's a waste of my time. Yeah, what is that? I don't worry about nothing, no, because worrying's a waste of my time. No, I'm switching songs. It's a Guns N' Roses one. That's what it is. Oh my goodness, it's Mr. Brownstone. Not a recommendation, but Brownstone in the moment is coming through as one of those buildings. I can't remember where those are popular at. Is it Boston or something? The Brownstone buildings. Anyways, um, discernment of universal love is like, how are my actions serving love? How are my boundaries helping not only to preserve and protect and allow for my transformation, but allowing those things and demanding gently the way that I want to be treated, the way that I want my life to be and to develop. It begins with my choices and the ability to discern whether those are in the highest good for myself, for my environment, and then locally for my family, for my community, for my onward, for the earth itself, for all of Earth's inhabitants, all of our relations, the earth, and so on. And when we are in that mindset, we are absolutely providing the highest possible good for all in that way. And so being gentle with ourselves allows less chaos energy, which chaos is busy. It's anxiety. And to then release a little bit of that, it softens our energy. It helps the chaos. It's like the dust allows the dust to settle so that we can see more clearly what's in front of us, instead of being in this constant I'm hearing cataclysmic, like, dust devil energy. And so remembering in the moment how to move through all of those choices is coming forward here, and that's where the activation is happening. So I do want to get into the Lemuria deck here. What can you tell us? We'll take those also. Okay, first one's out. We have Journey to Wholeness. I guess I have to censor that one. Journey to Wholeness is definitely talking about that release, and let's see, what can we put over here? We'll just give her a little shirt there. Then we have Internal Explorer. That's 33 is Journey to Wholeness. 32 is Internal Explorer, which is my dark goddess energy. And so it's not only about being all love and light all the time and being selfless, which is sometimes overdoing, overextending, standing on tiptoe, as the Tao says. And then the healing card does come out here. So that's beautiful. I think that what we're talking about here is the alchemical journey to wholeness has to do with us embracing some sacral chakra lessons. So wholeness, as far as rejection, abandonment, betrayal energy, the higher we climb on our journey to wholeness, the more that we can recognize that it's impossible to be abandoned or well, let's even say the rejection is always a redirection. So the divine redirection from the universe is like, let's say if you're in too much of a codependent energy and you are here to be activated to do bigger, better things than being in that stagnant hole, then perhaps that situation will leave you so that you are pushed back onto your self-care so that you can activate that portion of yourself. And so it looks like that journey to wholeness here has to do with our emotional self and the way that we're bonded with our friends, family, colleagues, and so on. And some of us are better at that than others. I'm more on the highly independent aspect of things, not because I necessarily want to be, but because I have lessons to learn about how to connect with others, right? And so we can learn from each other, but we can also retreat into ourselves and look at ourselves, follow that route back into our history and explore the darkness that leads us to overextending, people pleasing, being our own betrayers or white lie tellers or whatever it might be in your situation. And yeah, choosing something different here is important to heal our ability to utilize this unconditional love, that universal love energy. And under the deck here now we have full spectrum, gorgeous energy under the remembrance. I think we're remembering here, told to remember that we are divine beings. I just saw karma is on your side here. I go where you go. Ooh, somebody might have a crush here. Tell me, are you finding that the occasional stranger has a crush on you? That for words you've almost mindlessly chosen, hearts broken too long begin to heal. That eyes sometimes well up with tears when it's time to say goodbye. Remarkable. Our findings exactly. Psst. Your divinity is showing the universe. Gorgeous energy. Yes. So somebody's following you, whether it's on social media or following some type of process or shifts that are going on with you. You're changing evolutionary glow up energy or something. They're watching you grow and change. It looks like you're going to find what you seek to be beautiful in the eyes of another. Simply forget that they're watching. Tally ho, the universe. And we'll split that. You're destined for greatness on the wings of love. And the lower the price of your love, the higher its value. Brain freeze, the universe. So there may be some crush energy. It may be that you guys are just trying to find something that really is meaningful to you. You glow, we beam. Sometimes the good is hidden, right? You're searching for something. You're activating, you're remembering something here that is perhaps hidden, but when you actually glow, when you restore your energies and allow yourself to glow and to be whole and complete, that's where the magic starts to happen in your life, and where these relationships are, when you're open to be able to receive, because that chaos energy is accidentally, incidentally repelling energies. They cannot come in until you allow the dust to settle, right? So I hope that that was helpful to you guys. Let's see if we can fit in one more oracle card before I let you guys go. We'll take this one. Change directions with ease. That's another 5, which is already out here. Says this is a time for change, shape shifting, or for your soul's evolution, caterpillar. It is time to reconsider what it is that you're wanting. You may be in for a surprise. So there's something hidden that will be brought to the surface here. So that's gorgeous. 39, it's time to get back on task. Perhaps you've had your restoration phase and now it's time to get back